Okay, today let us discuss few more entries. We have already discussed about outstanding expenses, prepaid, accrued, unearned income. So how we are going to deal with in case of journal entries. So say for example the very first case says that outstanding expenses. Outstanding expenses, that means amount due but not paid. So in that case your journal entry will be expenses account debited to outstanding expenses. Let us take an example. Say for example, question says that salaries for the month of December is outstanding. So your journal entry will be salaries account debited to outstanding expenses account. Why we are crediting outstanding expenses? Because increase in liability. Why we are debiting salaries? Because it is a current year's expense that has to be debited. So your journal entry will be salaries account debited to outstanding salaries. Second case says that prepaid expenses. Prepaid, that means any amount which is paid for the next year, that means paid in advance. So any expenses which are being paid in advance is also known as unexpired. That means which do not belong to the current year, which belongs to the next term or next period that we have paid in advance. So any income paid in advance, any income paid beforehand or for the upcoming year, your journal entry will be unexpired or prepaid expenses account debited to expenses account. Let us take an example. In case of insurance, mostly it happens that you have taken an insurance. Normally we take an insurance for 12 months period, and that period being expired before our accounting year. Okay, or that period is going to expire after our accounting year. So your journal entry will be unexpired insurance or prepaid insurance account debited to insurance account. Okay, we'll discuss these things later on along with the example as well. Next is accrued income. Accrued, that means earned but not received, but it belongs to the current year. So okay, why we are debiting here unexpired? Because it is an asset. Increase in asset will be debited and it will be decrease in expenses. Okay. Next is accrued income account debited. Accrued, that means earned but not received. So your journal entry will be accrued income account debited to income account. And let us take an example that interest accrued rupees 100. So your journal entry will be accrued interest account debited to interest account. Accrued interest, again it is an increase in asset, we have debited. Increase in income will be credited. So that's what the rule we followed here. Next is your income received in advance. Any income that is being received in advance is known as unearned income. So for that your journal entry will be income account debited to unearned income account. Let us take an example that commission received in advance is 500. So your entry will be commission account debited. Why we are debiting commission here? Because this commission received is decrease in income. We have to decrease that income, will be debited. And to unearned income. Unearned income is said to be a liability. So that's why we are crediting it. So your entry will be commission account debited to unearned income, being commission received in advance. Moving on further, there is a journal entry about a closing stock. So closing stocks journal entry will be closing stock account debited to trading account. This trading account is said to be a new term for you. So when we talk about a trading account, this closing stock will further be used as an opening stock in an upcoming year. So for now you have to keep this journal entry in mind. Later on we are going to discuss further about trading account. So your journal entry will be closing stock. Closing stock is increase in asset to trading account. Okay. Next, say for example that you sold the goods on credit. That means you are going to receive from the debtors later on. If total amount that is being due from the debtor is irrecoverable, he is unable to pay that amount. So in that case your journal entry will be bad debt. Bad debt is said to be a loss. Bad debt account debited to debtors account. Say for example you sold goods costing rupees 5,000 to a debtor, and that complete amount considered as irrecoverable or bad. So in that case bad debt debited because increase in loss. So we have to debit that, and to debtors account, decrease in asset. So your journal entry will be bad debt account debited to debtor account if your total amount or full amount is irrecoverable. Second case, if you are going to receive a part payment of that, that means out of 5,000 he paid only 3,000, remaining 2,000 is considered as bad. So in that case your journal entry will be cash account debited 2,000. bad debt account debited 3000 to debtors account, or whatsoever case may be. So again, cash, that amount that you received, you are going to debit. Bad debt, again loss, increase in loss, we have debited. To debtors account, that is decrease in asset. So these are said to be the journal entries when amount is fully irrecoverable and when it is partly recoverable. Okay. Next case, you already considered this amount as bad. In case when sometimes later that person makes a payment of that amount, so that is known as bad debt recovered. It is again an income for you. So you are going to write cash account debited to bad debt recovered. Make sure that you are going to add a word recovered. You cannot write only bad debt. So we need to write cash account debited to bad debt recovered account. Cash is again your increase in asset, okay, and this is increase in income. So cash account debit, decrease in losses. So cash account debited to bad debt recovered, you have to mention it like that. Clear with these entries?